You are listening to an All Games Radio Network broadcast of allgames.com.
Hi, this is Normie from Knuckleballer Radio and Zombie Cast, and you're listening to one of my favorite shows on the Geeky Antics Network. Don't forget to check out the rest of the gang over at geekyantics.net. Warning, there might be rants and food ahead and possibly inappropriate behavior. Don't tell anybody though.
Welcome, geeks, gamers, furries, and ninja robots. This is HorsePLAY Live, and look who's here, just in time, War Child.
Oh yeah!
I'm gonna sneak you in right there, just like you snuck in. And I'm your ball bear lizard host, Yogizilla. And this is a mid-December episode, December 14th, the eve of the new Star Wars movie, Last Jedi, which I'm actually very curious about, though I'm worried it's going to be predictable.
Anything is a lot better than Rogue One and the last one.
Well, you know.
They weren't bad. It's just, as far as predictability, I'm about to crack one open on that.
Word. I was going to,
but
I like to be able to get up in the morning. So I'm gonna save it for the weekend.
That was a Mountain Dew, by the way. Haha.
Oh, well, that works too. Yeah, so this is episode 208. I'm throwing a little extra zero there.
2001 Space Odyssey.
Woohoo! I'm gonna randomly title this one "Excessive Cat Self-Grooming," because like the moment I started prepping for the show, Blue jumps on my lap, and she just started going ham on herself. Like, I'm gonna get this corner and this little nook here, and I'm like, "Geez, calm down." I don't get into that. Now she's chill. Now she's grooming me. She's like, "You're really hairy."
She has to get all the negativity of the net neutrality vote off of herself and you as well. So that's probably why she's trying to lick all the BS off.
You know, I was debating if we were gonna get into that because this is such a hot button topic.
Well, I mean, the button's already been pressed, man.
Yeah, so we don't know the extent of what's going to happen, right? But we know that it's not going to be good because it's already bad. With net neutrality, protecting neutrality of the net, with regulation, ISPs were doing really funny stuff. Throttling, slowing down certain types of activities, giving preference to their own stuff. But now they're just going to be encouraged to have that bad behavior. In fact, in California, for years already, I think all the ISPs, or a good amount of them, I've heard from multiple people, and I've seen their bills too, where they'll charge you a console entertainment connectivity fee. What?
I'm not surprised. I mean, I know California's expensive as it is, but Jesus.
That's why... The whole state like of California, they're entering freaking bankruptcy. I wonder why. That place.
Do they have pay toilets over there?
The government over there, the state government in California. I've heard this. I haven't verified it, so let me be sure. But I've heard this from credible sources, people that usually know their shit. So, and it wouldn't surprise me because there's always been issues there. That's why they keep doing these crazy things to kind of recoup costs and get out of debt. But yeah, not a good day. Not a good day in that regards. It's a lot of shit. By the way, last show I kept talking about Prey. I was actually thinking about the Surge. That's the game my friend was talking about. But some of the things he mentioned reminded me of Prey. I'm like, yeah, you got those mods, and he was calling them neuro mods. So like, I said, I started tuning out the parts that would have told me, oh no, it's a different game. So that's why I thought like, oh wait, does Prey have revive and you have to pick up your stuff? No, it's the Surge.
Does sound pretty close. But
Yeah.
I got my ass kicked enough in that game to know that, once you die, and you gotta the inevitable load screen dance. You know how it is.
I verified this myself, and I never like let myself fully die. Like if I'm just playing shitty, I'll just load my last save. It's like, yeah, I don't like the way this is going.
Yeah. But come on, even you gotta admit, every now and then you take that one chance where you got, like, I don't know, let's say 32% life, and you think that you killed all the bad guys, the big bad guys, not like the typical ones, and you're like, ooh, shiny, on the other side of the map, past 55 corridors, and it looks like it's okay.
Oh yeah, and then you get the freaking it's almost like something reminds me of like what you call it? Losing it. Metal Gear. It's like all of a sudden the enemies are alerted, like, brrr! It's like, damn.
I was gonna say Doom. They got that dark room with that neon glowing armor, and you have no armor. Your health is crap. You're like, well, it's just one piece of armor. What's it gonna hurt? All of a sudden you hear, and the doors open up, and fireballs are coming at you, bullets coming left and right. Yeah, good times.
Yeah. I think it's definitely strong on the tension side. On the scary side, not as much. Cause Doom has some parts. OG Doom, there were parts in there where you were like, it was just tense and like scary, and you're like going down creepy corridors and little dim lights flashing and stuff. But they did such a good job. That game always mastered the atmosphere of everything.
It's still one of the heavily modded games out there with Brutal Doom and bunch of other, I guess you could say mods too. Still,
well, yeah, the WAD system was brilliant because it was the map pack, it was the skins, everything bundled together.
Good time.
Yeah. WADs, great. What a great way to just package modifications in game. They've had sound packs, There were ones that just replace sounds.
That's true. About the same as StarCraft too. When they allowed people to do the map editor, they let you change out the sounds too. And I think somebody made a Dragon Ball influenced map too.
Yeah. And the last Doom that came out, they brought back that tradition with the editor and having community sharing and stuff. So
I was actually surprised they put programming in there. I was looking at it, I'm like, God, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of content to enjoy there. I wish I had the time to really dig in. Like, I played some of the boss rush maps that people made, tribute maps to like classic Doom. And there's some other stuff in there they did that was pretty cool, like more like horror themed, kind of survival type of stuff. Some really good stuff.
I think that would probably be the only thing I didn't like in Doom was how people tried to go back and create the quote unquote classic maps, because it just, I don't know, it looked like a flat room with the updated enemies in it.
Well, there were lazy ones, but there were some that were good.
Well, even the ones that Bethesda/ID put out is like just a square room and flat and enemies. Now, if they would have gone back and included the pixelated enemies, it might have felt a little bit different. But you just had brand new enemies in a flat map.
Yeah, they replaced the textures though. on the walls, if I recall.
I mean, yeah, they did the old school textures, but I don't know. It's almost like combining junk food and health food. So you're slapping together a rice cake sandwich with this most decadent ice cream you can find. Let's say Turtle Mocha Choca Rocky Road Moose Tracks with a dab of, I don't know, let's say lard.
What's wrong with lard?
I'm just saying, you got to make it as unhealthy as possible. The rice cakes cover up for it, but still, it just didn't make any sense.
Speaking of which, do you eat ice cream during cold weather?
I got a big ass thing of Bluebell in my freezer right now. Cookie two-step.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was looking at that one, and then they had another brand on sale. It was like buy one get one free, and they had some crazy flavor. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. It was like
I had to be a
waffle cone with some shit. That's all they had to say. Waffle cone. I'm like, all right, let's go.
I had to be a douchebag and kind of because I was on the hunt for this ice cream, man. Because Kroger had it on sale about 4 per 10, which usually around here it's about really $7. Yeah, that's why I went crazy. I mean, I was shoving ice cream in my freezer like there's room for days. When in all actuality, I only had enough for like let's say 2 or 3 tins of it. I made 4 to 6 tins fit in the dang thing, man. And Cookie Two-Step was the elusive one. I could not find this ice cream till one day I went to Kroger, and there was a older lady in front of me, just kind of carousing through the ice cream, like, oh, this one looks good. Oh, this one sounds delicious too. Oh, wait, plain vanilla. That's what I want. I'm like, that's right, lady. Get the vanilla. Get the vanilla. As soon as that door started closing, I said, excuse me. And I'm a tall guy with long arms, right? I'm 6'2". Black guy, dreadlocks. I'm a nice guy, but, to the average person, I can be kind of intimidating. So I reached my long-ass arm across from the side of her head, right? And I wasn't trying to be a douchebag, but I was hunting this ice cream down. Again, hunting, like tracks. I was looking for broken twigs. I was looking for fur and all this other shit. I was hunting this ice cream, man.
Sound like to the point episode of The Gifted.
So, I mean, she got to forgive me for reaching over there trying to get it, because as soon as I saw it, that didn't sound right. As soon as I saw it,
It's all right, though. We all know old white people only eat black walnut.
She was an older black lady, though, so, I mean, it was a 50-50 shot. She seemed kind of laid back, so something told me she was going to get that vanilla, but, if she would have been like one of those outgoing elderly ladies, like, oh, there's chocolate everywhere, and there's nuts in it. Yeah.
She got to get her nuts from somewhere.
I would have worried then.
You can't blame her for that. She's old, not dead.
What you know about this, Sonny? Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I joked about the black walnut because a lot of people consider like the old person's flavor, just like butter pecan or whatever, or butter pecan, depending where you're from.
True.
But I like both flavors. I'll eat the shit out of it.
I had to learn to like it because when I was younger, me and my brother, we eat up all the ice cream to the point where my dad only had one choice but to buy the worst ice cream you could find, which is the black walnut.
No,
funny thing about ice cream.
There's worse flavor than that.
Well, that weird peppermint ice cream.
Yeah. Peppermint.
Tastes like toothpaste.
Yeah, it's just not right. Like, once in a while, I could take chocolate and mint together during the holidays. I don't mind a little peppermint, in alcoholic beverage or whatever. But, like, just keep the peppermint, keep that zesty stuff on its own, because it's just too overpowering. Yeah. Whatever you put it with, it's already lost. It's like, no, you're gonna get a slight hint of whatever it's paired with, and a whole shit ton of peppermint. Yeah,
I mean, I might as well just while I'm eating ice cream, bust out a toothbrush and finish up the job.
That's what it is. It's like they just make these treats, these foods with the thought that You know, pretend you're eating ass. You'll be thankful you have this.
Would you like some sugar sprinkled on your shit? Well,
we got you covered. So, I don't know. Have you noticed there's been a lot of talk? By the way, tonight, folks, we're not gonna have any format because I know War Child's on a different schedule, so we can't really stay that late. And you know, me, I'm pretty much on a different schedule too, so we can't go as long as we used to. So I'm just trying to bang stuff out.
Oh
but,
yeah.
But I do want to say also, though, since next weekend is a holiday weekend, I know what we're gonna do. We'll play it by ear.
Well, I'll be available because I will be probably alone for those holidays.
Aw, you should come visit me, bro.
Well, what day is Christmas? Yeah, you're not that far. Hell, I'll figure something out.
Yeah,
even
if you come through,
car.
we'll go chill somewhere, you know, get away from the crazies.
I'll kidnap Tuka.
Yeah, there you go. Then you have to make the drive on your own. Because, you know, it should be like a 2-hour trip, but with the Atlanta traffic, 3 hours, 4 hours.
God. I got to take a back way from the back way from the back way just to get home some days.
In fact, I've had people come through here from your area. They'll come through like from Roswell or Norcross. Norcross is pretty much outer limits, isn't it, for Atlanta?
Yeah, I'd say borders. Yeah, because you know most Atlanteans consider Georgia anything within the perimeter of 285. It's almost like you know those video games where they're all like, "Don't cross the border. It was put there by our ancients for a reason," and then you end up being that one character that ventures out there and you discover that there's a little bit more than just what you thought. That's what Atlanta reminds me of.
Just don't go on 285.
You get up in the, God, I call 285 the practice track for the left-handed turning championships, also known as NASCAR.
You know what they should just do for those highways, those stretches of highway where it's always bumper to bumper or majority of the time it's bumper to bumper. They should just use that as a test bed for autopilot on cars, like maybe a universal kind of autopilot thing. So you can just take a nap, and the car will just drive itself. You know.
Based on the stuff I've seen on the highway, man, because I saw my first car fire on 285, and it was so crazy because I did not even know you could feel flames that intense through your car door. It was crazy, and the car was at least like maybe 2 or 3 cars away from me, and I was still feeling the intense heat of that fire.
Damn.
So never again. Well, I say that, but I don't know when the car fire happened.
Crazy. Oh, and there's a new Street Fighter movie coming out. Tiger Claw shared on Discord. I didn't even know.
Oh God.
Blanca's in it. And who's this girl in the dress?
That might be the Street Fighter 5 trailer because they brought back Blanca, Sagat, Cody. Oh my God, Cody looks awesome. Yeah, that looks like the game. Cody is how they set him up was actually pretty cool because old school Cody was wearing well, aside from the Final Fight days, he was wearing his prison getup with the striped uniform and he still had the handcuffs on. So,
oh yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
So they got a shot of inside the prison. They had the bars, and you saw Cody's silhouette in there, and he's messing with his handcuffs or punching his fist or something. And he walks towards the wall, and you see the wall bust open, and you see a silhouette step out, and I guess he's finally caught bail or reached bail or something, or did his time because he's coming out. He's looking all GQ. He's wearing a vest and a collared shirt, and he's got his hair done. He's got a watch on. I mean, this dude did not look like Cody.
Well, even Blanca looks like he's dapper here.
He's dashing Cody Rhodes. Yeah, Blanca looks Most people they wanted more characters, but Blanca looks pretty badass.
Speaking
I
of
might give
fighting
Street
games,
Fighter 5 another chance.
I might buy. I might buy. Finally, jump on that, but I did get back on the Marvel vs. Capcom bandwagon, and because over the last few sales they've had, a lot of the fighting games got deep discounts. So I picked up Ultimate MVC 3, and that thing had a huge roster. I got it for I'm trying to think. Did I get it for $10? It was a really good deal. It's I'm not even gonna think twice about it. It might have even been $5, something ridiculous. I'm like, why am I even thinking about
You got
this?
it that cheap? Wow.
Yeah. It was one of those things where it's I'm not even gonna think about it anymore. And then I forgot Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite also came out, and that went on sale. They think they wanted $20 for that, something like that. But
you said 3. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I thought you meant Infinite. You got for cheap, but I got you now.
Yeah. We're it's a generation back. But I still prefer that over the direction they're going now, because Infinite really has me curious. But they got rid of some staple characters from that game. You can't get rid of Wolverine. I don't care who you put in there. Oh, you put his daughter in there. That's great. But keep his daughter and Wolverine. I don't know. And then they got rid of I think they got rid of Felicia too. That's my girl.
Yeah, she was in there, wasn't she?
I think they got rid of her and they put in fucking Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy. Random.
Well, I mean, with all the legal ramifications and everything that was going on with
I know, yeah,
with Marvel and Fox and all this other stuff. I mean, that was the main reason why they were trying to get rid of mutants in the first place in the movies. But that was probably one thing that influenced their character choice. Because if they wanted to get the X-Men, they'd had to go through the rights of Fox, which they didn't want to do. So that's why you saw X-23 replace Wolverine.
X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you.
That song will make anything crawl.
She's dope, but she had a different fighting style than him,
Yeah.
Wolverine was one of those characters that's just unrelenting, and he's got a lot of gap closers, so he's just up in your face, and if you don't block it and counter quickly enough, and say you're done. I like
Berserker Barrage.
Yeah, you can just cheese the hell out of people with that. But
God, I know.
I mean, I get why they did the changes they made, but still, it's it hurt my heart. That roster was just so tiny, and what they did do to kind of circumvent that, they gave each character more depth. So they got rid of assists, and they replaced that with the gem system. So that that looks interesting. I'm I am curious, but
they got that from Infinity War. Was it Capcom Infinity War? So it came out around the same time as Capcom versus Marvel, but it was the predecessor to that game where you had Spider-Man, Cyclops. I think Wolverine was in there, Magneto.
I remember that. I played a shit in arcades.
Yeah, that shit was awesome.
Yeah.
Man, Blackheart.
Fighting games in the fucking arcade were just amazeballs. There was a little stretch there where there was nothing better. I mean, you had the Soul Calibur, Street Fighter Alpha series was amazing.
Yep. Which, by the way, they're making Soul Calibur 6. I think it's going to be a prequel to everything because Mitsurugi looks younger. Just a speculating thing, but
I'm in. I don't care what anyone says because they're saying it looks booty, the graphics. They said people are already whining. They're like, it looks last gen. I don't give a fuck. It's Soul Calibur. That shit plays silky smooth. As long as the controls are responsive and you get that nice, smooth combo system and the beautiful backdrops and just bouncy women and interesting characters.
Yep. I was gonna say Soul Calibur kind of catered to everybody, whether you were a button masher or you were the dude that was setting up all the combos and trying to own people.
Yeah.
You remember when GameStop used to have the console set up for trials? I don't know if they still have it set up like that.
Yeah, and they used to a lot of times they would run Soul Calibur on it.
Yeah, I went to the mall one time and there's this little kid. He was quote unquote whooping everybody's ass, and I walked in there. and he was finishing up his last opponent. You just hear like, yeah, that's him hitting buttons. This why they call me the man. This why they call me the man. So, back then I played a lot differently. I play games a lot differently than I do now because I was one of those focus gamers. So the more I focused, the harder I played. So finally, I started focusing. I whooped his ass in front of everybody because he started saying that crap too. He's like, "This why I'm the man. This why I'm the man. This why I'm the." And then that's when I KO'd him with Mitsurugi.
I tell you, the younger generations, man, is like they just like hearing themselves talk. It's like, it's like
squeakers.
Go straight to party chat. Don't even deal with that shit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You think you'll get like the kids that just start singing to themselves, and you're like, "What are you doing?" Like everybody can hear you, and it's annoying.
I can't stand when adults do it, man. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, like it's like they forget they're on a microphone and just do like the most annoying things, like when people try to clear the sinuses and they do that the gagging thing.
God, yeah.
It's like,
or you just hear random cussing. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like nobody said it. Shut the fuck up. Oh, okay.
It's like the internet has Tourette's. They all have Tourette's. Fuck, cunt! How you doing? It's like, what? What just happened?
Shit damn hell! Shit balls! Be my friend. I'm gonna send you a friend request. Like, have you ever met anybody weird in GameStop? Like, I mean, super weird. Cause
that's not very. It doesn't give me a very specific picture. I'm like, everybody.
Well,
because anybody. Because nowadays, let's face it, the people that still go to GameStop and like hang out there, they're the weird ones. Before they used to have people that would just chill there, right? And it was cool. You get to meet people, but now it's just like the weirdos that hang out there. Like, you have any more of the the limited edition pop figures? No, they don't even talk about video games anymore. It's disgusting.
Oh yeah, last time I went to GameStop, it was kind of sad because they sweetest girl too. She's ringing me up, and then the phone rang. She had to pick it up, and I'm like, "That's cool. Do your job. I understand." And she said, "Hello, this is GameStop, T-Mobile, or some phone company," and it threw me for a loop because I remember a long time ago reading that they were going to merge the phone company, but I didn't know they actually went through with it. And to hear the title said all in one go, it just didn't feel right. I felt kind of dirty. I'm like, it's like I didn't know whether to
trading your electronics and activate your phone here and buy a video game while you're at it. If you like.
Yeah, I didn't know whether to buy a video game or get a phone plan or upgrade.
That's just crazy.
Check my data cap. I just felt dirty.
Dude, they cram so much stuff. Like, I know there's got to be just as bad by you, because I haven't been to a GameStop and ATL in a while, but I know pretty much everywhere I've been to, anywhere really, but particularly in Georgia, I find for some reason the ones in Georgia are even smaller, like little holes in the wall, but they pack so much shit. And it's like there's nowhere for the customers to stand.
God, mm-hmm. Especially because I went there on Black Friday, so they filled that place up as tight as they could. And the sad thing is, I think I should have checked out this little mom and pop gaming store that's right around the corner from me, because somehow, some way, they're still in business.
Yeah, you know what? There's one. I went in there once a long time ago, and I forget. And for some reason, I couldn't remember it. I don't know if it was forget. I has that bad memory, but I drive by all the time. I need to go in there. And then my son was telling me he's been there a couple of times. It's really cool. And I'm like, damn. It's called Level Up. It's like
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's like one of those places that just begs you to look inside, to go inside, because the windows are tinted and covered with posters and art. So you're like, I wonder what's happening in there. And then a part of you wonders, are they even open?
Somebody's getting leveled up here. Yeah, no, you do wonder. It's like, is this place closed down? Is it open? What's going on?
Yeah.
I should have checked it out though, because I guarantee you that they probably would have been a lot less crowded than GameStop was. that's where I ordered my Switch, and it was almost like going to a line in a theme park or an amusement park and waiting to ride. That's how bad it was.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of time with those smaller shops, the people that like will check you out usually are part owners or like high up enough, and because it's usually family ran,
Mm-hmm.
or at least they are familiar enough with the business that they know the margins on their products, and you could like bargain with them and shit.
That's very true.
Can't do that no GameStop. And GameStop, I swear GameStop only hires cute girls. It's like there used to be like generous amounts of neck beards and hipsters.
Well, you still got them there too, but it's like you're right. You got that one cute girl, and you just, hello, how are you doing today?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
and I swear they don't know much about video games. 'Cause I remember, just like from when my kids would tell me and shit, that when they interview for it, like they ask you a lot of video game questions. Now, like, oh, let's see, you look pretty cute. Because the culture it's shifted. I remember you used to go in there and you'd always have like a couple of like know-it-all types that would tell you, no, you don't want to get that. This is what you want to get, and they would tell you. And you could ask about any game, and 90% of the time they'll know about it. Unless you pick something really, really random. But like last few times I was there, which was a while back, it was just more like I ask questions. So what's hot right now, and all they do is go off like their chart of what's selling. Like, well,
yeah,
what about
that is
niche?
true. That is true. Yeah, it is very true now that I think about it, because last time I went in there, it was almost like the guy that I asked about Yakuza. He was the one that had to back up the cute chick. So, yeah, you're right about that.
Mm-hmm. You have a pretty face is more important than what you know. That's the lesson there, guys.
Yeah. Oh, another store that's changed is Hot Topic. That they mainstream so much that I actually went in there last.
Because now all their stuff
maybe
is
a week or two ago.
All their stuff pretty much now is like licensed stuff, right? Like Disney shit and all that. Yeah.
Anything that's big. It's like, for example, New Japan Wrestling T-shirts, which I don't mind because they come straight from the little T-shirt printing factory they have in Chicago. I think it's 1 Hour Tees or something like that. So I don't have to try and order online and then wait until, I don't know, let's say 5 to 10 days. Because really, at the end of the day, Amazon spoiled me to the point where I hate shipping. I do not like to wait. I want my shit there as soon as I click the button. I'd like, click, all right, where's my shit?
See,
I don't know, blame it on millennial stuff.
The trick to that is just order stuff when you're mildly interested so you can wait on it and not feel rushed. But when you really want it, it's like, ah. But, so yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. And we went up a crazy tangent. So like everywhere I turn now, especially on the radio, everybody's talking about Bitcoin. Even my brother, I think he was just calling me, and he's been like texting me back and forth. We don't really talk that much, to be honest. We're kind of night and day. I love him to death, but he has his own belief system, and I have my own.
Yeah.
But he's been blowing me up and trying to pick my brain about Bitcoin and bit mining, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what is he trying to get at? So apparently he's trying to do what a lot of folks are trying to do now, which is they're buying these servers and building their own racks to mount them up on, and these are like cheap servers. At most they're probably like $1,500, and for Pete's sake, they use a freaking USB flash storage. I mean, they're rigged. Like wow. paper clips, some chewing gum, a little credit card here. That's a doohickey. Make doohickey work. Thingamabob. But
MacGyver.
Exactly. But people are getting all into this now, like, and it's just funny to me, like, what got the interest in this again? Because like everything I've been hearing has either been about Bitcoin, or of course the big thing with the well, it's been actually another big headline, the Disney thing. I think they finally got
Yeah.
The old
Oh my
54
God.
million for Fox.
Oh, and here's okay. So I was
Well,
on YouTube and I
well,
looked into
hold
that
on,
a
because
little
if
bit
we go
more.
on a tangent, we're not gonna finish the other
I'm
thought.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet. You do what you gotta do.
Because that we'll have to come back to the Disney thing. Then of course the other thing was the whole bully thing. What was the kid's name? Keaton something.
Yeah, that kid.
Yeah, that.
Uh,
Yeah,
Keaton Jordan or something.
something like that. That was a Keaton something. And then
Lying
all this stuff
asshole.
that happened after. Yeah, well,
Sorry. I'm not
I
sorry.
mean, ah, it started a good conversation going, right?
hmm
But then the moment there was some tomfoolery, people forgot about the real issue at hand, that there is a problem with bullying. And it's like they
But,
suddenly forgot that part. Like,
but
ah.
he brought that on himself because he was going around calling the black kids at school the word that you ain't supposed to say. So
No,
I
no, no.
mean,
I'm not saying in his case, but I'm just saying the emotions that he provoked, right? That got a good dialogue going about a real problem. Now,
what
in
about the
his case,
10-year-old?
it
What,
wasn't a problem.
what about the 10-year-old black girl that killed herself because she was being bullied? Nobody said a damn thing about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. A lot of that stuff gets swept under the rug,
hmm They
But
pushed that thing under the rug so much. It just looked like a bad cartoon. He had that big ass. I'm
well,
not
I
gonna
mean,
get super political.
well, we talked about August Ames last week. That was bullying.
Mm.
But everybody's like, oh, but she's a porn star, so she was broken to begin with. You don't know her
Nah,
life.
she wasn't the first one to do that. What's the girl's name? She was a German porn star. I think her name was Anja or something. She's like light skinned black chick, super busty, and
Sounds familiar.
she killed herself because it wasn't bullying. Now that I think about it, it was so sad. It's like her boyfriend that she was with ended up cheating on her with another woman. So I guess she was just kind of unstable to the point where she just she killed herself.
See, that's
You
weird
know,
though, because like I think about that. Like, can you really say? Can you be in a committed relationship with a porn star and like they'll be loyal to you, but then when they like take dick for some other dudes, it's work? Like,
I look at it like
I don't
I mean,
know. I don't know
I
if I can be that
understand.
open-minded. Like, it either have to be very clearly stipulated this is an open relationship. You're the one I come home to, and I love you, blah blah blah. But
Yeah,
whatever,
I
and then
understand
be
what you're
honest
talking
about it.
about. Yeah,
But
because I mean,
I don't know.
end of the day, the average guy, when he thinks about porn, he's like, "Yeah, we'll get this. It's gonna be that. It's gonna be somebody upside down. Oh my god!" They. And you got to think, just like any job, if you do all that crazy stuff to the point where, you're getting tired of it and you just want to go home, if you're the dude, you just want to do that simple missionary position. If you're the chick, you probably just want to do that simple missionary position. You getting tired of doing the triple backflip somersault all day because that's how you made your living. I mean, you don't really care about you probably don't care as much about the physical anymore because you just want somebody to have an emotional attachment with,
Yep.
which, to the average person, it makes it hard because of the fact that, like you said, they're busy taking somebody else's pole and everything else. Like, well. Or, you're the guy that's like, yeah, man, hey, I'm dating the porn star. So it's like, you can't find what you're looking for because the whole cream of the crop thing doesn't account.
Yeah, and you'd have to like have something sacred, like some porn stars don't do anal because they leave that for their boyfriend, right? Or they don't kiss. Yeah. They have little things. It's like, oh, this is our thing. Only we have this. It's funny. It's funny to me because I actually had a conversation with a pretty well-known porn star, years ago, and this is like when she was on the cusp of blowing up. But it was cool. She just laid things out all open. Like she didn't hide anything. It was just cool talking to someone that real. And we had a lot of laughs, but the one thing that I remember was she asked me, say, what can I do for my guy to like keep things fresh? I've already given him the butt. I'm like, That's a good question. I mean, what more can you do after that?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like at that point, seeking an emotional connection, and I think that's what also would make somebody have more of a frail personality because of the fact that they're dealing with, well, they're dealing with dick every day, or they're dealing with pussy every day, to the point where it's almost like being a dentist. Because if all you see is teeth every day, it's gonna drive you crazy. So,
yeah.
I mean, he's keeping it real. He's keeping it real up here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true. But I agree though. Like, I think that emotional connection, that's what gives you the security. So you don't worry about what came before you. It's like, this is our moment. We're gonna live in this moment. Fuck everything else. Fuck the world. When you're confident in what you have, you don't worry about those things. But you have a communication breakdown. You don't convey those feelings. Then everything starts bleeding over, and it's like the little things start to bother you. It's like, I was watching your scene the other day. You seem to actually enjoy that. That didn't look like work, honey.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
It fascinates me. Anyway, moving on. So the Bitcoin thing is interesting though, because if you're ever curious, folks,
that's a hell of a tangent.
That's right. But I'm gonna see this Bitcoin topic through, just because I just think it's interesting. It's come back to the surface. It's been years since Bitcoin came out, but they project. There's a few fun facts here. They project that Bitcoin won't top out at its max until the year 2141. And then what's interesting about Bitcoin, and it's not the only virtual currency out there. It's not the only decentralized currency. But what's interesting about it is you don't have to worry about the all the weird things that happen to control the prices. The private banks and lobbyists and the government involvement and all this stuff. It's more about the global economy, which that's another thing that could be fickle as well. But it's more stable than throwing your hat in the ring with the banks and the housing market and the stock market and all that shit that is very volatile, right?
That's where it gets kind of crazy, because I see great potential in Bitcoin, Litecoin, and whatever other cryptocurrency comes out. But at the same time,
isn't that? That's another one of the big ones.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like almost like the dollar. There's nothing really backing it.
Well, what is globally? There's a bunch of ATMs, and they'll allow you to do a currency exchange. So that's one. So you'll have to deal with the seedy underbelly of the internet and try to make a deal that will be able to convert into your local currency. Buy something with Bitcoin in order to sell that thing in order to get real cash. You know what I'm saying? So you can actually go there's actually in the U.S. Last I checked, I think it's 1,400 ATMs for Bitcoin. And then there's and there's a lot of them are random places like gas stations, so they're out there. And really, what's gonna happen was which probably, if you're thinking about it, it's like it might be time to jump on now because the major shift is gonna be when a major retailer or e-commerce outlet, whatever, backs it up and says we accept Bitcoin. That's gonna be game changing.
Yeah,
it'd
be nice to like if you're a streamer, it'd be nice to have it set up to where you get donations made in Bitcoin.
Yeah. And
there's so much you can do with it now.
Well, here's the other thing. So it's a finite resource, right? It's not like with our currency. They'll print more money without there being stuff in the mint, in the treasury to back it up.
Yeah, true.
So that's what causes the devaluation of it. But Bitcoin, I think the max is going to be 21 million Bitcoins that will ever exist, and all that will change after that is what they're worth in local currencies. That's pretty interesting, right? So one of my friends, we sat together, we did some math. We were like computing like going rates for kilowatt hours and use of electricity, right? And we started this talking about the new Tesla trucks that are out, and the impact
those. I didn't even know they had a truck. Those are probably sexy though, because the SUVs were pretty sexy.
Well, I'm talking about full-on trucks, like for like transportation companies. Talking about like $250,000 truck.
Yeah. Oh shoot! Oh, never mind.
yeah. Not like a pickup truck, but that'd be pretty cool too. But I mean,
I can only imagine what it looks like.
We're breaking down some of the numbers on that, like how much mileage you get, depending what speed you maintain and all this stuff. It accelerates fast and all this stuff, and then that transitioned into somehow we got to Bitcoin, or went back to Bitcoin. Because then we started talking about kilowatt hours and how much that costs. A lot of nationwide rates are between 9 and 15 cents depending where you are, right? And then peak season it goes up, and then a lot of like companies, Georgia Power, they have tiers. So the more you use, they put you in a different bracket and start charging you more per kilowatt hour that you use, right? So so we started all this to figure out, if you ran your own little mini server farm for, Bitcoin mining, for example, how long would it take before it pays for itself? So, the math that we came up with at the current rates for the current rate of return, and I had the numbers all in my head before, it would basically take about 70 days to pay for itself. If you just had like a small little rack with like maybe four servers at about $1,300 each.
Wow.
Yeah. And and here's the better part. That's assuming that the value of the Bitcoin doesn't go up in that period, but it almost always does. So it might be much sooner than that. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's very true.
So, That's the point I was finally to make this whole time. Like stuff to make you think. If you want a little thing, a little side thing, And most people can't afford to take that kind of risk on their own. So this is where you could get creative. Like you might know someone that runs a shop and they might have a lot of space they're not using, right? And you could go in on it half and half. Maybe you find a third person, and to keep it safe, it's usually best to do it 3 ways. Anything more than that, it gets messy, right?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at Bitcoin right now. It's at $17,253. It's gone up by 3.94%. Ethereum is $675.35. It's gone down by $9 or 9.23%. And Litecoin is $279.72. It's gone down by 11.20%. So I think I'd probably wait. My next move is to buy that Litecoin.
Yeah, because you want to get in when it's still low value, right? And just play the long game. Yeah, that's smart.
Because Bitcoin, Bitcoin to me kind of reminds me when Google first hit the market.
Yeah.
And back then I was kid war child. I was kid war. I'm like, man, I got $100 in my bank account right now. I was telling my mom this. So I looked at her. I said, if we just take this money and I buy some Google stock, oh man, that'd just be awesome. She said the same thing, then all of a sudden, years go by, we're looking at Google stock. Last time I was even seriously looking at stocks, Google was at least $600 per share.
Yeah.
And I gave myself a time-dimensional swift kick in the ass. Like the mini version of me, Kid War, came from the past just to kick me in my own ass and went back to the past. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, I know that all too well.
Did the same thing with GM stock too. I was the dude going around, man, before GM stock hits the market, it's 35 cents. You better keep an eye on it. GM stock right now, 35 cents. When it hits the market, it's going to be big. The day that it hit the market was the day that I checked the GM stock, and they moved that decimal place over to the point where it's $35 per share. Yeah. Again, whooping my own ass.
Yeah, that's how it happened, man. Hindsight, man. But here's the thing though, with the we're past that we're past that point where it's ripe to just buy bitcoins. A few years ago, you get a bitcoin and then soon after that's worth $10,000 or $1 million, something ridiculous, right? You hear those stories all the time, right? But with the mining side, all you're doing is just facilitating the blockchain to keep the engine going.
Yeah.
You're on the transaction side, and all you're doing is providing, processing power for the distributed services. Because the peer-to-peer system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just residual income that'll keep churning and churning. So I think it's a worthwhile thing to look at.
It's not a bad idea, especially if you need a cash cow or something, so you can start your own small business. Because, shoot.
Now on the Litecoin side, if you come across a large sum of money, and you could play the long game, then you can buy some Litecoin and wait for that to double or triple.
I'd have to wait in the company bonus. That ain't gonna happen until February.
Yeah, they're making us wait on hours too. Right? A lot of people were like, "Oh, we're getting it before Christmas." Like, come on! Like, not gonna happen. It's the end of the year bonus, not a Christmas bonus.
Mine is always in February, so I gotta wait till February. I'm cool with that though.
Not too bad though. Cause then you double up. You got the tax return money and that. Yeah, you're sitting pretty.
Yeah, but it's jacked up though because it's like the day before. It's always the day before, so you ain't got no excuse.
I was just gonna say that too.
Woman's like, I know you got paid. I can smell money on you right now.
Oh yeah.
You know what you gonna do with that money? Like, no. What you gonna make me do with that money? You know what you gonna do with that money. So can't escape it, man.
It's true, no matter. I remember sometimes, the things would get tight, and be like, honey, we gotta tighten up the bill, 'cause, if we keep going on this, we're gonna dip into the savings and stuff, and then we're gonna say yes to something now, and I mean it's gonna be a no to something later that we really want. So you gotta be careful. You gotta really think about this stuff. But she could always tell when I'm not really being serious about it. I'm just being more cautious. It's like she knows when there's actually money, and it's like she could sense, when there's money. Cause no matter where I stash it, it's like, hey, can you get me this thing? I really want this thing. Well, honey, no, you got the money. I'm like, damn it. How did she know
gonna pay what you owe, Yogi.
They know. They got that sense. They can smell the paper.
That money, like that, the beginning of the nostrils got like the money glands on it or something. Pick it up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, the last thing I wanted to say is, have you played? Did you get to play Hearthstone, the new Hearthstone expansion yet? I know Beard is big into it.
I hadn't touched Hearthstone in a while because my phone has been messing up. I'll actually open a couple of my games up. Like the last game I was trying to quote unquote seriously play was Critic of the White Knights, and the phone will play the game for a minute, then all of a sudden it'll kick the program out, and I'll go right back to my home screen.
Oh, that shit sucks. I know. I've had that happen before.
I don't even know why it does it. And I just got this phone. Maybe about a month or so ago. Excuse me, but I know y'all were talking. Ooh, thank you. But I know y'all were talking about Hearthstone for a minute.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you get to play it, man, at least on desktop, that thing is dope. Like, I might have to go out and say that it is the best expansion they made. Not necessarily in terms of, the cards they've put out with this expansion, but just like the play style. Because I love Arena, right? So this is like an Arena style kind of thing. It's a dungeon run. And they randomize the bosses. There's different bosses they pick from a stack of different kobolds and their allies. And then you pick up loot along the way, right?
Yeah.
And then you also build your deck as you start uncovering treasure. So there's like a dynamic strategy to it. And then the best part is if you beat all eight challenges, 8 bosses, then you get to keep whatever you unlock in that run. Now the only thing I don't know for sure, and I have to check with someone that's been doing it, is if it's repeatable. If it's a one and done, I'll be a little disappointed. But if it's something you keep doing, you can farm that shit out. Cause it's challenging. Yeah, I think I consider myself a pretty good Hearthstone player. I got to the end, and I couldn't beat it. And then additional runs, depending which bosses they throw in there and what kind of deck you kind of end up building, you might not even make it past the 4th or 5th boss. Yeah, usually I get to like the 6th or 7th.
That's like when I was playing that. It was the Explorer DLC to where you had to fight the Armor of Lothar.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's the one where like you had to escape the temple.
I think something like that. Like there was a bad guy that was basically trying to steal the staff of something. It was like probably one of the earlier DLCs that came out for it, and I could not beat Lothar. He kept pissing me off because he had life and he had armor. No matter how much damage you did to him, it was always 1 damage.
Ah, yeah, I remember that fight. But was that at the very end of that expansion?
It was probably like the fight before the end, I think, or something like that. I never beat it, so I know it was close to the end. But
okay, because that's the one. I'm pretty sure that's the one that after you beat the boss, he like it's like a second phase, and you have to like survive his temple. So like they do something. There's like a weird mechanic. I can't remember how it worked out, but basically you have to like do certain things in each turn before time ran out, or else basically the temple would collapse on you. And they had like little events, little like I guess they kind of treat them like secrets, and then that represented like a story event. It was cool how they did that, like made it to like a movie type of thing, like you're Indiana Jones escaping.
Yeah.
God, I feel like it's like so long ago.
Yeah, that was the last time I played. Actually, no. Last time I played, they came out with that one expansion where you could power up this one card. I can't remember the name of it, but
Cthulhu.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That card was nasty.
Yeah.
You're sitting there pulling out these little cards, and all of a sudden you hear a little voice to the side, and his icon pops up. Prepare yourself for destruction. Like,
yeah.
Okay. And then it comes out. You got this big ass 36 by 36 creature.
Dude, that the Cthulhu slowed down. People are not using it as much, but that's still one of the best cards they come out with, and just all the support there for that. The thing is, he was stronger when you were able to use Brawn, because Brawn will double your battle cry effects. So like if you got that 4/2 with Divine Shield creature out, instead of making him +2/+2, it'd be +4/+4. You know what I'm talking about? So like he'll get big fast, And if you have Brawn out, when you get Cthulhu out on the field, it will trigger his effect twice. So let's say he's a 20/20, that's 40 damage that will go out on the board.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the most I ever got out on the board was like 80 damage. I was like, yes. So broken. But you like you kind of need something like that for the board clear, or just to get that lucky face damage and take it home. Because everybody, in spite of all the cool mechanics they have in there, the aggro still wins.
That is very true.
Like I used to like playing mid tempo kind of control, build up to like a strong end game. But now it's all about just dumping shit on the field. Take this, take this, take this, take this.
I actually miss playing Magic the Gathering, like actual physical card game, because I don't know. I guess because I'm looking at the cards that I have, and really, if they had something set up to where you could scan your decks or your collection into the digital game, I'd probably do that.
I know, yeah.
No, this
Because
ain't
it's
no
shame
Yu-Gi-Oh. So
you always have a like really cool cards and like the physical, and it's like I wish I had it in the game. But Magic Origins has gotten better about unlocking stuff. Like you could build some sick decks in that. They finally got it right. I like Magic Origins. It's just again, it's like the problem with Magic is that each match just takes so long, you know.
Yeah.
Well, especially for me, I'm like a slow thinker. Like I'm not gonna be one to just churn and burn. You know, I gotta like think. I could do this. I'm gonna do that. You know, it's like But I got a whole freaking huge box full of Magic decks.
Shoot, I got so many cards that I need to go back and make some decks. It's just when you don't have anybody to play, it just kind of makes you know.
Did you ever get into Naruto? That trading card game is actually really cool because it's got like the oversized cards. I like the art on it, the way the cards feel, and like it's got some cool mechanics, man.
I didn't even know they had it. Well, that doesn't surprise me, but I didn't even know they had a game.
Yeah, and they like what they usually do with that is you know how Magic comes out with the battle packs, one for you, one for him, or one for her. I don't know, whatever you're into.
Yeah.
So they do the same thing with Naruto, so you can like buy the little starter pack, you know, and out of the thing you could battle with a friend. Yeah, it's pretty. Check it out. Yeah, it's probably cheap now. It's probably
it came in a box, right? Like a big box.
Usually it comes like in a. How can I describe it? Almost like a video game size box, almost. But I think what you're talking about is like the real like starter kit. Like you're talking about like a tin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I have one of those too. Oh my god, what came in there?
Or not a tin. It's like you.
But it's more. It's a deeper box you're talking about, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like made out of some type of cardboard or something like that, or particle board, and it had booster packs in it, and it also had oh god, what do you call it? The deck box. So like once you got done going through the cards, you could build a deck box up and make your own separate deck, and you know, something like that. Because I think they even gave you a certain amount of land cards. Was it a fat pack? I think. Or
wait, are you talking about Naruto or Magic?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting mixed up. I'm thinking about Magic.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Magic. The best kit they have like that is the one that comes in like a shoebox almost. It's the corrugated cardboard, and it's got the little dividers you can set up in there the way you want, and they come with a shit ton of land, and they come with a bunch of booster packs. That's what you're talking about. They called that Deck Builder's Toolkit.
That's right. Yeah. One of those I liked. The other one I hated because I think it was the Deck Builder's Toolkit. Because by the time you got done, you're like, I ain't got shit in here. But the fat pack, you know, you get that, and you can do some stuff with it. But the one thing that I did one time, I loved it, and I would love to do it again. Was I bought a box full of booster packs for Born of the Gods. No, Journey into Nyx. That's what it was. It was part of the Theros set, but man.
Buy a booster pack, like the whole, like you bought like the whole, like kind of retail display box, right?
Box. Yeah.
That's fun.
So fun.
Yeah, that's great if you could like split it up with friends and just randomly pick different packs and then kind of compete to see who gets better shit.
Yeah,
because you know one of those like if you could get it at like a wholesale price, what is it? How many comes in a box nowadays? Like 100 packs?
It might be over 100. Something like that.
Because I also think about
at least 100.
Yeah, I can also think about the Yu-Gi-Oh ones. And but they usually, if you get them cheap, you can get it for like, because you know what one pack's like $4 or $5, depending where you are.
You get $5 usually.
Yeah.
Even if you go to Five Below, it's like, it's still $5.
So if you're lucky, I've seen deals where we can get it for a box for like $60, $80. That's like the wholesale price.
Yeah, and it depends on the set too. Like it was, I guess.
Yeah, if it's like first edition, good luck with that.
Shoot, or Kamigawa, they're gonna want $200, especially if it's Betrayers or Kamigawa. They want $200 plus for those boxes. But if it was something as simple as, like, say, what was one of those decks that kind of, one of the lesser decks, like, I don't know, let's say Gate Crash or something, then no, Gate Crash would probably still be expensive. It's rare. It's rare to find a booster box that's going to be
the cheapest one you could get is the Black Pearl.
Shoot.
Lol.
I like seeing those videos where they unwrap, they go through the booster packs, and they're like, oh my god, it's a Black Lotus. It's a Black Lotus.
I still call it the Black Pearl because, like, people feel like they're finding treasure. It's like, look at this thing. It's been hidden under all this junk. They didn't even know what it was sitting on.
I know, right? All these years. Oh, that kid's name is Keaton Jones.
That's it. Yeah. But, yeah, I love card games, man. Like, that's one of my favorite things. Like, just board games in general. Like a real cool board game where there's lots of strategy involved. Especially the cooperative ones. Because, like, competitive ones, you always got friends that, like, get bored or they're sore losers. So, like, they'll, like, they're, like, cheat, basically. Like a Monopoly. Someone's about to lose, and then just to spite you, is like, I'm going to give all my stuff. I'm going to make a trade. I'm going to give all that stuff to this guy for $1. And then they land on your shit, and they die on your property, but you don't get shit because they already made a shitty trade.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, really?
Yeah, I miss card games, man. Board games too, to a certain extent.
Yeah, I miss card games. I'm glad that I don't play them as much, because, like, it didn't help that my son was really into it too. So, like, we'd go into Troll and Toad, and I'd get him a few things, and I'd get me a few things. Next thing you know, like, $400 spent. I'm like, oh shit, I'm just gonna hide this. I'm gonna hide this from the wife.
Hide your cash, hide your wife.
But it'd be fun. You get the box in the mail, and then rip it open, and everybody's excited. And then we had some friends over. He had friends that played. I had a few friends that played, but they moved away. And like, it was cool. It was cool. It's like bridging the generations together,
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. Card games is just, I don't know. There's just something special about them. The mechanics are just. There's a lot of fun things you can do with it. That's what I like about it.
Yeah. Nowadays, just the mindset. Everybody wants stuff quick, fast, and in a hurry. So that same joy whenever you're playing, sitting down playing card games or whatever, just ain't there anymore. Most people just feel like they don't have the patience for it.
Yeah, that's really it. Like, it's just everything's just. It has to be instant. If it's not instant, don't bother me.
Yeah.
But if you like card games, did I ever put you on to that series, Lost Kingdoms?
Mm-mm.
This is like man, what? How many generations is this now? Well, Nintendo generation, it's like 2 or 3 generations. Cause this was back on the GameCube.
Oh wow!
I think they had them on some other system, but I played on the GameCube. It's called Lost Kingdom. They had a Lost Kingdom 1 and a 2. I don't know if a 3 ever came out, but it was a really cool game. Kind of janky, but in some aspects, it kind of reminded me of Parasite Eve. I don't know why.
That was one game I wanted to play, but I didn't have the PlayStation.
Yeah, and don't hold on to that because mechanically they're nothing alike. It's just kind of some of the ambiance and stuff. But basically, you played as this girl who was like a card master, like a wizard of some sort, and she, her book of spells were how did they describe it? Like thin slates that sat in the book, like like almost like a rock, right? So not, but they were rock cards. It's kind of silly when I describe it, but it's cool. Like, so you're a wizard, but your tome is full of cards. Giant cards, and you would depending, there were cards that would augment your stats, that would do like traps or summon monsters, and then like and some of them will like buff the monsters and do all kinds of. There were like different combos you could do. So what's neat about it is all this shit would happen in real time. You're like going around these different areas, exploring, and enemies will come at you, and you're fighting them in real time, shuffling through your cards and like trying to get something good out that will counter them. So you had to be smart about your deck balancing, because if you didn't do it right, or you were too aggressive fighting different encounters, so a lot of encounters were avoidable. You'd like burn through your deck, and then when you actually had like legit card battles with other wizards, you'd have like the shit left the scraps left in your tome, unless you like refilled your mana and basically got your tome filled up again. And well, actually, the mana is on a timer. It's kind of like your stamina, so you can't like get really buff stuff out all at once. So that's another control. And then also, you never know what you're gonna draw, so you can only have like 4 cards out in your hand at a time. So then, if you didn't like something, you'd have to like discard it or shuffle it back in. Dude, there's so many little things that I loved about that game, but it was just cool. Like when I would like discover like rare minions and just like summon a bunch of crazy shit just to overkill something. Like, ha, you had no chance. And meanwhile, while you're doing this, you have to make sure your character's running around and avoiding being damaged by their minions and their spells being shot at you.
I don't know why it's making me think of Jade Cocoon. I know it's not similar, but some odd reason it's making me think.
Why does that sound familiar?
It's like a more quote unquote violent, not violent. Well, I guess in a sense, violent version of Pokemon, where you go and you collect monsters and then you try and crossbreed them together to make or you merge them together to try and make a new monster, and you have to actually physically fight the monster in order to catch it, and you can die.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, that was a cool game. Did you ever play Dragon Quest Monsters, DQM?
I wanted to.
Dude, that...
Again, I just didn't have the system. It looked like it was good. That was Akira Toriyama.
Well, they got it on the DS. But what was awesome about that series is that they had like complete breeding. Like you could crossbreed different types of monsters together, and it produced different other monsters. It almost reminded me of like the class system in like Final Fantasy Tactics, where like there's a lot of branching points.
Tactics, yeah.
It's like, let me see what happens if I breed this monster with this one, and like it had a lot of subtleties too, because not only will you get different types, but sometimes you get different type of stats depending how you mix it up. So that game is really cool too. But there was one more thing I wanted to mention. Oh, the Atari box is accepting pre-orders now.
May the spirit of gaming be with you, sir.
Well, apparently I'm the only one excited about this.
No, I mean, I'm yeah, it's cool, but at the same time, I'm just thinking of the chaos.
Oh, with too many consoles at once?
No, I mean, I'm just thinking of how most of these new mini consoles have been coming out, and once they've reached a certain amount, they're like, I'm done, we're out. It becomes hard to get.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
But that's also because Nintendo likes to control their own freaking... They control the demand by controlling the supply.
Yeah, true.
But
that's true.
I mean, but it's a different kind of thing. Because it's not... from what I understand, it's not going to be a mini. It's going to be a full like PC with the styling of the Atari 2600 with like the wood grain panels with the plastic accents.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
they're going all out.
And they're saying it's going to be in the 250 to 300 range. It's going to basically be like a mid-range PC. Well, now they haven't announced that much, but you know they're doing some part crowdfunding, which I'm okay with because you know Atari's they've had a lot of a rough struggle. And they weren't the original. I want to keep them going. We need more variety and not more consolidation. You know, the more people go out of business, the worse it gets for the industry. You need that competition.
Yeah.
Keep things fresh.
Until eventually you look up and Taco Bell is the last remaining restaurant. Demolition Man.
Yeah, the only thing that makes me a little sad is they haven't really talked too much about the games. But I almost just want to kind of blindly support it just to support a legend in the industry, you know?
Yeah.
Atari is one of the companies that, heavily influenced who I am today. I remember going to arcades and playing black and white Asteroids.
Oh God!
And I thought that was the shit. I got so good at that game that when I had it at home on Atari 2600, I beat it like 8 times in one sitting. And, like the score literally reset 8 times. I don't know how many hours that was, but I was that much in the zone.
That's before they had actual endings.
Yeah, exactly. There was no kind of like ending. Yeah, just it kind of like glitched for a second. And the score reset to 0. I was like, all right, here we go again.
You're showing your age now, Yogi.
I'm just saying. This is what I found entertaining. Ms. Pac-Man was a big one for me. Zookeeper. Loved pinball. I spent so much time playing pinball. Good times. And of course, beer gets here just as we're about to wrap up too.
It's a lot better than that one time. That one time I showed up.
Oh,
y'all were like, "Good night, everybody."
No, yeah. And the best part about that was we were saying good night, and then right as we were saying that, you were like, you're like the character at Mad TV, like the woman.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
The old lady with the glasses.
Like you just stepped up in our earpieces and you're like,
Stewart was one of my favorites. I mean, that dude's like, look what I can do.
Yeah. Oh my god. So good.
Man.
And was Mrs. Swan?
Oh my god.
You're looking like a man.
Good times, man.
That show was so good. They got the classic episodes of Mad TV on the CWC app. So if you don't mind a few ads, you can watch it there. That's pretty cool.
Back then it was a few ads. Now it's might as well be commercials on everything. Bastards. Especially the way they pushed it. I gotta get this out of my chest. Especially the way they had this shit set up and the fact that they were gonna, no matter what people voted or called their representative or whatever, they had it set up to where they were going to push this shit through no matter what. And I knew it was going to happen because, like I said last time, there were so many damn commercials pushing Lineage 2 on my YouTube account to the point where I didn't know if I was watching YouTube or watching the television series on CW Atlanta or something. It's fucking ridiculous. I can't even watch a simple 50-second video without getting 55 ads.
Yeah, and I remember there used to be like one little like ad marker on a typical video.
Yeah.
And now it's like there's like 3 to 5 segments on every video. It's like,
and
dude,
it's the shit you can't skip anymore.
It's a 5-minute video.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Year.
I think that's understatement, man. I think it is what it is now. Welcome to the future. Or welcome back to the past, however you want to look at it. Because, I mean, anytime you give me an ad where it's like the video will continue to play after the ad, and it's an ad about something I don't even have any affiliation with, and I gotta sit there and watch this shit, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate when it's something completely unrelated. Like if it's like a health or fitness product, like look, I like being a fat fuck. Stop wasting my time. Show me some delicious cookies.
Yeah, really. Show me something
pizza,
other than,
you know?
Yeah. Then they're like, did you like this ad? Was it tailored to what you like? Well, hang on. We're going to give you a survey. If you do the survey, we'll try and tailor those ads to what you... Like, get out of here with that.
I put so many sad faces and they still don't get the point. It's like, I put sad faces every time this type of ad came up. Do you not have enough data points?
I know, right?
Never enough.
We need to know more about you.
But you know, I'm a little weird though because I spent so long, you know, for a while I was like completely anti-cable because I was tired of the family fighting over the TV. Oh, let's watch this. I don't want to watch that stupid. It's like, and it's everyone, including my wife. It's not like, this is bullshit, and then it's expensive. You know, you can't get shit a la carte. Yeah, you have to get packages where like 95% of the channels you don't give a shit about. You know, so instead of being able to get the channels you actually want to watch, you got all these shitty channels that you know, just sit there, you know. And then they want to bundle in shit you're not going to use. Well, if you get a quadruple play package, you know, we'll give a finger up your butt too. Would you like that?
Karate.
Yeah. It's probably a good thing we didn't get into the full-on net neutrality rant. Yeah. That's just gonna... We don't want to end on that note. Right, Beard?
Yeah. No one wants to dig into that at the end. Especially when you have Captain Contrarian over here.
Maybe next week. Now, before we wrap up, y'all have any plans for next weekend? Are you going away? Anything big?
I work.
Okay. So, much like me, it's going to be just another weekend, except with extra food and presents.
All by myself. Fun times.
Good times. Good times.
I'm probably just going to take my black ass and get back into podcasting and my stuff. Because I'm behind already.
Yeah, it's hard to dig out of that hole.
Yeah, best to not even get in it.
But just take baby steps. Then it'll be less daunting.
Yeah.
But Mr. Taylor, did you have any quick quips or news tidbits you wanted to share before we wrap up? Anything that stood out this week? Anything fun in your life?
Oh yeah, I am a Twitch affiliate now, so I have my one emote so far.
Nice.
You got your coffee cup heart. So that's cool.
Nice. Now I feel like I have to actually get more involved in Twitch again and support you.
God, I know.
Stream every day for a month. You'll get there. Doesn't take very long.
Yeah. I'm glad they finally made things easier, because like there's a lot of people that didn't deserve to be partnered that got partnered, and then and I know the affiliate program is different. It's a different distinction, but now at least everybody's getting the break, right?
Yeah, you get your 3 emotes, and you get a chance.
Yeah. So I think that's cool. Because before it felt very subjective. Like, even though they had these requirements, they were really just guidelines. So then you see some of the people that pick is like, really? This guy? This girl? Okay, I get it.
It makes sense if you don't really think about it.
Yeah, if you don't really think about it. I see what you did there. Clever.
I'd give that a try. Once every day for a month. I'll definitely give that a try.
Dude, my streak at one point, I streamed every day. I had to say, it felt like 6 months straight. And then I was like, I can't do this shit.
Yeah, that was back when you actually did Retro Fridays.
Yes. And it was fun, but like, there's no way I can sustain this and still love it like a year from now. I'd end up hating everything.
Turned into easy now. That's what happened to him.
I do
Streamed
miss
a lot of Destiny content. Then Destiny 2 came out.
You know, I do miss doing Retro Friday. Did you catch a lot of those or no?
I think by the time I showed up, it was
dead.
Yeah. I don't think y'all were doing them.
Have you ever looked in the archive?
I need to go
Some
back.
were good.
I need to go back.
Your half-assed slack through the Nintendo games was funny.
Oh god, because
You play like 20 minutes of a game and then switch.
Yeah, because I would have never finished it otherwise.
It was a lofty goal.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games. I had to be picky about what I actually decided to play, and there were a lot of them that I wanted to play longer. And I was like, if I get hooked on this thing, the series is gonna become. I'm gonna try to beat this damn game.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but
completion videos are popular too.
But Nintendo Hard is a real thing. You know, this is before they started coddling. You know, holding your hand. Like, oh, is this your first time playing video games? All right, let me walk you through the controls. So the A button is to jump, B button is to run, X is to shoot or reload. I was like, what the fuck? Why are you taking me through all this basic ass shit? Those things on the shoulder, on the top of your controller, they're called triggers. Like, oh my lord. Can we skip this?
Aim and shoot. Got it.
I don't know. I'm
gonna just hit y'all with my last thought for the night real quick. It's gonna be straightforward and simple.
Nipples?
Fuck you, pie. Fuck you, pie. That is all.
You said straightforward and simple. I thought you were gonna say nipples.
Nah, but it was straightforward and simple.
Like a nipple.
You're kind of watering down what I'm trying to say. Just don't work that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Conversation killer.
I gotta say it all gangsta now. Fuck pie. That's what I'm saying. Shit.
Were you the one that posted the Samuel Jackson video where every time he said motherfucker in a movie?
I saw that. I don't know if that was me or not, but I that was funny.
You are in that group with me and Derek, right? And a bunch of other guys?
Yeah, I am, because I get the notifications every single day.
Oh yeah, they going hard. My favorite videos, like the last 2 weeks, is like the Asian granddad with his granddaughters doing the freaking dance. I'm like, what? Look at this guy. Like the moves, man. And then the trippy one where like the never ending staircase.
Yeah.
And the girl freaks out because like the guy goes up the stairs, she goes down the stairs, and they bump into each other. So it's like, what? And then she runs the other direction and bumps into him again. He's just like chilling in the same place he was to begin with. Like, oh, nice to see you again, dude.
You got to look up Asian Fantasia.
Fantasia. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, because Fantasia, I think, is an R&B. Yeah, she's an R&B singer, and you just gotta see it. Chick is hot as anything too. I'm like, okay, I see what you're working with. I see you.
Wait, you talking about the girl that she was on American Idol?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So this Asian lady tried to do a parody of her. It's pretty funny.
Okay, I see now. See, I was going a whole different direction. I thought you said Asia Fantasia. I'm like, So, like the Asian interpretation of a classic Disney movie?
I was thinking like a K-pop version of it.
You know what? Now I want to see that.
That would be kind of cool.
Dude, have you watched like K-pop dance routines?
No.
Shoot.
Oh my lord. I'm not saying I recommend it, but if you ever feel like just try something weird that doesn't involve butt stuff, watch it. Maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised. I don't know. It's an experience. Something you could check off your bucket list. There you go.
And this is Yogi digging himself out of a hole now.
Yeah, I'm desperately trying.
It was an awkward silence.
Well, I heard like what sounded like the start of a slow clap in the background. So I was like, no, that's not gonna happen.
Nah, ain't gonna be no massage envy going on.
All right, fellas. Well, let's do our outro here. First off, Beard, where can people find you at when you're not doing this crazy podcast?
And you can find me on Twitter at Beard and Hat. Or you can find me on Twitch, which is 7AYLOR, 3 underscores.
3 underscore. And underscore is a 1 that's after the 0, right? On most keyboards. So people don't know the difference between an underscore, a dash, a hyphen, backslash, forward slash.
Find me on
That
my
flat
Twitter.
thing.
You'll find everything from there.
There you go. Horcha, how about you?
Hit me up at my very, very super quiet site right now. I need to update it. warchildgames.com. Hit me up on Twitter, at warchildgames. Also at Warbound Radio. And pretty much covers everything.
And for me, I'm Yogizilla everywhere, but these days you'll mainly find me on Xbox and Twitter. Not so much on the Twitch as these days. I might change that. Who knows? Maybe I'll surprise you sometime.
We do need to change that.
But yeah, for now, that's where you can find me. And of course, doing the podcast thing. So that's still a thing. But with that, folks, that's a wrap, and we'll see you next week. Peace.